Last week, I explained how the Prime Minister and Home Minister had killed democracy in Maharashtra and buried its corpse somewhere in Raj Bhavan. But as with all crimes hastily committed, the duo made a careless mistake. They took care of the governor, they took care of the president, they took care of the cabinet, they took care of the corruption cases, they even took care of the media, entrusting the stealthy swearing-in of Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar to the loyal news agency ANI rather than the public broadcaster Doordarshan. But they forgot to take care of the numbers. It turns out that our modern-day Chanakyas may be experts in entire political science, monetary economics, law, plastic surgery and astrology. But despite claiming the legacy of Aryabhat, their skills in basic arithmetic aren't up to scratch. With the result that what was intended as a brilliant masterstroke, the word the Modi hai to mumkin hai crowd love using, turned into a shabby flop. Fadnavis resigned when asked to demonstrate within 24 hours a majority on the floor of the assembly that he knew he didn't have. And finally today, the Shiv Sena's Uddhav Thackeray was sworn in as Chief Minister as the head of a coalition that also includes the NCP and Congress. In this episode of Beyond the Headlines, I will explain where Modi and Shah went wrong and why the Maharashtra fiasco should be seen as a turning point which holds lessons not just for the BJP and the opposition, but for everyone concerned about the future of democracy in India. First, let me start by saying what the Maharashtra crisis was not about. In his resignation speech, Devendra Fadnavis a few days ago criticized the opportunist nature of the coalition the Shiv Sena has formed with the NCP and Congress. On their part, many critics of the BJP have also attacked Fadnavis for trying to form a government with the NCP against whom he had just fought an election. Let's be clear that in a hung assembly, when no one party has a majority, alliances of this kind are bound to happen. They are perhaps even desirable. What matters is what the process of alliance building looks like. Forging a coalition across ideological lines is always complicated and takes days, if not weeks, of difficult negotiations. Just look at what happened in Germany after the 2017 Bundestag elections. So, when there are four parties in Maharashtra and no single party is within reach of the halfway mark, strange and unusual coalitions are bound to emerge. In Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar pursued his efforts to bring the NCP, Sena and Congress together in broad daylight, and none of the parties attempted to hide the difficulty some of their leaders had in digesting the proposal. The parties have now put together a common minimum program which reflects some of their own individual political priorities, but also represents a joint commitment that the three are collectively making to the people of Maharashtra at large. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi, on the other hand, made all their maneuvers under the cover of darkness. They could have held open discussions with Sharad Pawar of the NCP, who, after all, had offered to support the BJP in 2014. The BJP could have negotiated an agenda for alliance the way it did with the PDP in Kashmir in 2015. But in Maharashtra this time, Shah and Modi chose not to work that way. Lord only knows what combination of threats and blandishments was dangled before Ajit Pawar to get him to break ranks with his party and family. But I suspect the BJP used the spectre of corruption cases to win him over. Ajit Pawar in turn appears to have used subterfuge to obtain some plausible form of documentary evidence that the NCP was willing to back Fadnavis. Of course, he knew the lie would quickly unravel, but must have received assurances from the BJP's Chanakyas that in the 2 weeks the governor was helpfully giving Fadnavis, the party would somehow make sure the numbers finally all added up. In the end, of course, between the shrewdness of Sharad Pawar and the Supreme Court's unwillingness to deviate from past precedent, this clumsy attempt at a putsch quickly fell apart. And now we have the Mahavikas Aghadi government in place. The rest, of course, may well be history if the Congress, NCP and Shiv Sena carefully follow the dharma of coalition. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi's hopes now rest on this unusual alliance collapsing, either on its own accord or with some inducement from the BJP's coffers and prodding from the CBI and ED, which is precisely what happened in Karnataka. Of course, these hopes are based on the assumption that the Shiv Sena deserted the NDA out of momentary greed. But what if the Sena broke with the BJP on the basis of a strategic calculation that this alliance was damaging its long-term interests? Things would be very different then. And there are two reasons for the Sena to believe that that indeed may be the case. First, as Professor Badri Raina has compellingly argued in The Wire, the Sena always rode two tigers, Hindu chauvinism and Maharashtrian parochialism, but is probably now asking itself whether the gains from Hindutva have exhausted themselves. Triple Talaq, Ayodhya and Article 370 cannot yield any more political mileage. There are one or two items still left in the Hindutva armory, but the law of diminishing returns appears to have set in. Second, the Sena knows that the BJP would clearly like to decimate it and take over its base and will use all the levers at its disposal to accomplish that goal, and that the only way to protect itself is to get into the driver's seat. Even if the Sena feared the risk it was taking by breaking with the BJP, the manner in which Modi and Shah misused the office of the governor and the president to surreptitiously capture power in Maharashtra would have made it clear that there could be no turning back anymore. Objectively, there is no reason now that the Mahavikas Aghadi should not be able to take their arrangement forward into the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. For one thing, the Sena knows that if Modi and Shah are not defeated that year, the BJP will find a way to exact a horrible revenge on the Sena. It is this do-or-die situation that Modi and Shah have created for not just the opposition but some of their own allies, which has raised the stakes in Maharashtra to such a high level. It's worth asking why Amit Shah was so reluctant to allow the Shiv Sena to hold the chief ministership as part of an NDA government. This is because, as chief minister, Uddhav Thackeray would have been able to get a bird's eye view of all sensitive matters in the state, including how the Fadnavis government was able to use the police and lower judiciary to close the books on, say, the mysterious case of the death of Judge BTH Loya, or the Sohrabuddin case, or the killing of the RTI activist Satish Shetty. All of these hidden matters could well do with a good dose of sunshine. There is also the Bhima Koregaon misadventure, in which leading Dalit activists, trade unionists, lawyers and others have been framed by the Maharashtra police. Having come this far in confronting the BJP, don't be surprised if the Sena and its newfound allies decide that they have nothing to lose and everything to gain by looking into matters that Shah and Modi would rather keep hidden. The Wire needs your financial support more than ever before. If you like the video and you like the journalism we do, be sure to click on the donate link in the description below and make your contribution to support independent journalism. Thank you for watching.